desert, silent, merciless, infinite. An endless sea of sand, where the sun scorches the earth and the wind whispers secrets across the dunes. But in 1942, this ancient wasteland became something more. It became a battlefield, a crucible where the fate of entire continents would be decided. This is El Alamein. Welcome to what happened, where we unravel the greatest moments in history, one country at a time. And for our seventh chapter, we are exploring the Battle of El Alamein. On one side stood the Allies, battered, bruised, but unbroken, led by a new commander, Bernard Montgomery, a man known for his strict discipline and unshakable belief in victory. On the other side, the Axis forces, driven forward by one of the most brilliant generals of the war, Rommel, the Desert Fox. Rommel, who had danced circles around his enemies, striking swiftly, unpredictably, seemingly unstoppable. For 2 years, Rommel's Afrika Korps had surged across North Africa, capturing fortress cities, dismantling British defenses, and drawing closer and closer to the jewel of the British Empire, the Suez Canal. If he succeeded, the oil-rich Middle East would fall into Axis hands, and the entire course of World War II could change. But here, El Alamein, a narrow choke point between the Mediterranean Sea and the deadly Qatar depression, Rommel's luck ran dry. There was no room to maneuver, no clever flanking attacks, only a brutal, grinding confrontation face to face. Montgomery knew it, and he prepared meticulously. Tanks were amassed, infantry were drilled, supplies, fuel, food, ammunition were stockpiled in mountains. He told his men, "We will stand and fight here. If we can't stay here alive, then let us stay here dead." On the night of October 23rd, under the cover of darkness, the desert exploded into flame. Operation Lightfoot had begun. The plan was daring. Infantry would advance across vast fields of hidden mines, a death trap that Rommel had laid down with ruthless efficiency, clearing narrow corridors for the tanks that followed. It was called Lightfoot because the soldiers had to tread lightly or die through blinding dust storms, under ceaseless machine gun fire and artillery barges. The men pushed forward, step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat. The battlefield was chaos. Gunfire lit the night like deadly lightning. Shells burst overhead in deafening roars. The very earth trembled. Australian divisions, New Zealand brigades, Indian troops, all fought shoulder to shoulder with British forces, carving a bloody path through Rommel's defenses. Rommel counterattacked with everything he had. German panzers, Italian armor, waves of desperate assaults. They struck with ferocity. At times, the lines blurred. Hand-to-hand combat raged across the trenches. But Montgomery's grip never wavered. Slowly, inexorably, the tide turned. After 12 days of unrelenting battle, the Axis lines buckled. Rommel, worn thin by illness and despair, sent an urgent message to Hitler. "The army is faced with annihilation. I must retreat." But Hitler refused. His orders were clear: stand, fight, die. Rommel, a soldier first and a survivor second, chose instead to save what was left of his men. He pulled back, retreating westward across the burning sands. El Alamein was more than just a victory. It was a turning point. Winston Churchill would later say, "Before Alamein, we never had a victory. After Alamein, we never had a defeat." In the shadow of the desert, hope had been reborn. The Suez Canal was saved. The oil fields of the Middle East remained beyond Hitler's grasp, and the myth of Axis invincibility was shattered forever. El Alamein taught the world a brutal, beautiful lesson, that in the darkest hour, even when the earth burns and the skies fall, courage, raw, stubborn, unbreakable, can change the course of history. And here, beneath the endless, pitiless stars of the Sahara, the world took its first step toward freedom. A step bought with fire, with blood, and with the unyielding spirit of those who refuse to break. This is the story of the Battle of El Alamein. Join us as we uncover the incredible, the forgotten, and the unbelievable. Make sure to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more incredible moments from history. Until next time, stay curious, stay hungry for history.